Before we dive into today's jaw-dropping revelation that has sent shockwaves across the nation, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications, and stay tuned for every breaking update as this unfolding political drama reshapes conversations across South Africa. What began as a seemingly ordinary television interview quickly transformed into one of the most explosive live broadcasts in recent memory, shaking the foundations of national leadership and leaving citizens stunned. South Africans were glued to their screens expecting a routine discussion, calm, structured, predictable, but within minutes everything changed. Police General Mkhwanazi, long known for his fearless personality and unapologetically direct approach to leadership, delivered a revelation so unexpected, so boldly spoken, that the studio fell silent, the host froze, and viewers across the country struggled to process what they were hearing. The moment went viral almost instantly, replayed millions of times within hours, dissected by experts, and debated by citizens from every corner of the nation. For the first time, a high-ranking official appeared to openly challenge the authority of President Cyril Ramaphosa in full public view, implying that there were truths the citizens of South Africa had never been told. Questions erupted immediately. What was the secret General Mkhwanazi hinted at? Why did he choose to expose it live, without warning, on national television? And what does this sudden revelation mean for the president, the ANC, and the future of South Africa's political stability? It all began with routine questions about crime statistics, investigations, and standard policing strategies, nothing unusual, nothing controversial. But then came the question that shifted everything. General, are there matters you feel South Africans deserve to know, but have been kept in the dark about? The studio lights seemed to intensify as Mkhwanazi paused, looked down as if weighing the consequences of what he was about to say, then slowly lifted his head and stared directly into the camera with an intensity that no one expected. What followed was not a hesitation or a vague response. It was a controlled, deliberate statement, delivered with conviction, as he explained that behind the scenes the public would be shocked to know how many decisions had been taken at the highest levels, decisions that had compromised the effectiveness of policing, interfered with investigations, redirected priorities, and created invisible obstacles to justice. While he never mentioned any names, the implication was unmistakable. Political interference had become a shadow force guiding the outcomes of critical cases. Then came the moment that broke the broadcast wide open. Mkhwanazi spoke of leadership pressure, unusual directives, sudden changes in investigative direction, and conversations he strongly suggested should never have taken place. It was as if he had torn open a curtain and allowed the public a glimpse of the inner workings of the political machinery that most people only speculate about. Social media lit up instantly, hashtags spread like wildfire, newsrooms scrambled, families called one another, and analysts rushed to studios to interpret what had just happened. Within minutes, Mkhwanazi's words were being replayed on every platform, dissected frame by frame. Many experts concluded that his decision to speak out couldn't have been spontaneous. For months there had been whispers within law enforcement, whispers of frustration, of certain cases mysteriously stalling, of officers complaining quietly about decisions that seemed shaped by outside influence rather than justice. General Mkhwanazi had always been known as a strong and outspoken leader, someone who refused to bend to pressure, and his revelation on live TV appeared to be the breaking point of long-built tension. Some insiders even claimed he chose live television deliberately because it was the only platform where no one could silence him, edit his words, or intercept his message before it reached the people. It was a calculated move, they believed, designed to ensure that the entire nation heard him without filters. As he continued speaking, he hinted at deeper issues, coordination at levels above him that shaped which cases received attention and which were quietly buried. He described how important files would suddenly go silent, how investigations that were gaining momentum would abruptly stall, and how certain decisions appeared to prioritize political convenience over justice. He did not accuse anyone directly, likely for legal protection, but the signals were clear enough that the public immediately understood what he was implying. He positioned his revelation as a warning to the nation. There is a wide gap between what South Africans are told and what truly happens behind closed doors, and that gap has real consequences for crime levels, justice, and national safety. Almost instantly, the reaction across the country was electrifying. Phones buzzed non-stop, timelines flooded with theories, and every major news outlet pivoted to focus on the shocking disclosure. Many South Africans praised Mkhwanazi, calling him brave and patriotic, someone finally daring enough to speak truth to power. Others accused him of political motives or suggested he might be aligned with internal factions within the ANC looking to unsettle Ramaphosa's leadership. But regardless of differing opinions, one thing was beyond dispute: General Mkhwanazi had shaken the nation. Protests broke out across major cities as citizens demanded clarity, transparency, and immediate explanations. On social media, thousands demanded the president respond without delay, while rumors and speculation spread like wildfire. For the first time in a long time, a single moment united South Africans in collective shock and outrage. Inside the ANC, the atmosphere reportedly shifted from confusion to urgency. Elder members and party strategists allegedly gathered for emergency meetings late into the night, discussing how to contain the fallout, how to address the accusations, and how to respond without appearing guilty. Some leaders insisted that Mkhwanazi had crossed a line and should be disciplined immediately to maintain party authority, while others warned that punishing him too quickly would make the ANC look defensive, or worse, as if they had something to hide. President Ramaphosa, known for his calm and measured public tone, initially remained silent, a silence that only intensified speculation. Behind closed doors, sources claimed discussions were heated, divided, and tense. This situation presented Ramaphosa with one of the most serious political challenges of his presidency. Although Mkhwanazi's statements were indirect, the implications were powerful enough to ignite national doubt about transparency, truth, and the influence of political pressure on law enforcement. Opposition parties wasted no time. They seized the moment, calling for inquiries, investigations, independent audits, and full transparency about decisions made under Ramaphosa's leadership. Some opposition leaders argued that the revelation confirmed long-standing claims regarding political interference in policing, while others demanded immediate parliamentary action. Analysts predicted that this controversy could become one of the defining political battles of the year, not because of the specifics of what Mkhwanazi said, but because of the questions now etched into the public mind. What exactly is being hidden? How deep does the political influence go? And who benefits from keeping certain information from the public? As the country waited for answers, tension grew. Would General Mkhwanazi be forced to clarify or retract his statements? Would the president finally speak and address the allegations directly? Would Parliament summon the police general for questioning? And perhaps most importantly, would this moment further expose divisions within the ANC itself? The story was far from over. In fact, it was only beginning. The ripple effects from that single live interview continued spreading, shaping headlines, fueling debates, and dominating political conversations across the nation. For many South Africans, the revelation touched a raw nerve, the desire for truth, transparency, and accountability from leaders who hold the nation's trust. As more voices weighed in and as pressure on the government intensified, South Africans made it clear that they would not remain silent. After General Mkhwanazi's bold statement, the public now wanted answers, and they wanted them fast. Every hour brought new developments, new reactions, and new twists in a story that has rapidly become one of the most powerful political shocks the country has seen in years. Make sure you stay subscribed with notifications turned on, because this story is evolving at lightning speed. The truth, whatever it may be, is now in demand, and the nation is refusing to look away. In the days that followed, the political temperature in the country rose sharply as South Africans waited for clarity that never seemed to come fast enough. Every newsroom, talk show, and online platform continued to replay the clip, slowing it down, analyzing Mkhwanazi's expressions, and trying to determine whether his words hinted at specific individuals or at a broader system of influence. Legal experts joined the debate, some arguing that Mkhwanazi might have put himself at risk of disciplinary action or even legal scrutiny, while others insisted that whistleblowers deserve protection, especially when they raise concerns about national integrity. Meanwhile, the police service attempted to distance itself from political interpretations, releasing carefully worded statements that only raised more questions than they answered. Behind the scenes, insiders whispered that other officials might soon come forward with their own concerns, and that Mkhwanazi's boldness may have opened a door that will be difficult to close. Across communities, ordinary citizens expressed a sense of unease mixed with determination. For many, this felt like a rare moment when someone inside the system finally spoke openly about what South Africans have suspected for years. Whether Mkhwanazi's revelation becomes a catalyst for change or another controversy buried under political pressure remains to be seen, but one thing is undeniable: the country is watching more closely than ever.